4 Irish people who have personal experience of poverty and social exclusion were chosen to bring their issues to the centre of European decision-making in Brussels. The team combined their issues with those of other European countries to influence social inclusion policy. The focus of the Irish group is housing. Through this inclusive process, they are involved in policies to improve their lives and the lives of others like them.
People who experience poverty have the right to be heard. And so this is a very symbolic gesture of that at the European level, where people experiencing poverty come together to be heard by the institutions about how they see the realities and how they see things should be improved.
This is the second kind of preparation meeting for the delegates that are going to Brussels in May, held here in Ireland. The delegates have been preparing at a local level, so we've come back here now to Dublin again for the second time, and this time delegates are going to explain a little bit about what they were doing at a local level, some of the discussions they've had around some of the issues and some of the solutions they've had in terms of looking at accommodation and housing at a local level for their own groups.
Billy Shine is one of 2 participants from the Simon community and is involved with the Simon community in Athlone. Billy participated in all of the preparatory work, but unfortunately, for personal reasons, could not attend the meeting in Brussels.
Without them, God knows where I'd be. I would have been, probably wouldn't be around.
Michael Mackey is a service user who is now on the board of directors of the Galway Simon community. As an active member of the organisation, Michael regularly meets with other people who use Simon's services and those on the front line of dealing with homelessness.
When I slept rough, I was under trees. I slept on headstones, benches. It's not nice when you came from a great home, you know. But then all of a sudden, they came up one day and I said, yeah, I'll have a look at the house. Came up, looked at the house, and I just said, yes, I'd love that bed. And she just turned around, she said, it's yours. And I went to bed that day and I didn't get out for 2 days. I came in and joined Simon. And I went on to the group. Then I became a member of the board of directors. And now I'm heading off to Brussels. I got a letter stating that I was one of 2 picked to go to Brussels. That I could not believe. I had to go back to the CEO and say to her, is this true? Or no, she says, you're going. Who knows who we might meet that might have an influence or that might change something for us. The issue of housing to me is very important, because nobody should be homeless. Everybody has a right to have a home, whether it is in a hostel or a house of their own. Everybody is entitled to be housed.
Housing is very important, because here in Akido you work with people who have different status. You know, we were talking about asylum seekers, people running away from torn war countries, people who have been abused, people who are traumatized before getting here.
Kenyan-born activist Salome Mbugwa is head of Akidwa, the African Women's Network. Salome, who represents migrants and asylum seekers in Ireland, campaigns on their behalf for a better standard of living.
These mobile homes would look very good, you know, from outside. Sometimes it could be very difficult for a woman with a young child or a woman with a family. So, and for the fact that actually people are supposed to live in this type of accommodation for 6 months, that should be the actual arrangement when they are coming here. But you'd find that some people, like in the one we are in here, she would have been here maybe for almost 3 years. Unless we speak out, not unless we say what is the problem, it's very hard. Huh? What do people think? Are there no problems or everything is okay? When I speak and when I represent the people that I represent, I speak from what I've seen. It's not that something I'm hearing on the phone, that I've been there and I've seen it myself. And we link up with the women from the very grassroots. These are the people who have the experience, and then we link them. I think we are the mediator between, because we are working with the women and also the policy makers or people in situations of influencing change. So we go out talking to people, we hold focus group discussions, we have a group training down here, and we want people to come up with the issues. I don't want actually to sit down here as Salome and light that this is what is happening. I want people to talk about their experiences, because I don't want to talk for you, that kind of way. I'm hoping that the issues that will be raised and that will be putting on the table in Brussels, that they will be taken into account. I hope to see maybe slight changes, because you cannot expect a change in a year or so, but I hope that these issues will be taken seriously.
The first time I ever heard of independent living was when MDI gave me a carer for a weekend, and I went to Galway clubbing for a weekend, and sure, I never had anything like that before.
Sammy Brill from Athlone is disabled and requires 24-hour personal care. She works passionately for the right of disabled people to live independently and is an active member of Muscular Dystrophy Ireland.
If a person with a disability wants to live independently, they need a house that's accessible and they need personal assistance. I've had people